let's get into our topic for today. Love, Bhakti. Yes, it's the most known thing in this universe, in our lives. It's the most known. Nobody can say that they don't know or they haven't felt love. And paradoxically, it's the most unknown thing. We've been trying to articulate it in literature, in books, and cinemas, and poetry, and the works. Children have dreamt about it, parents and everybody, sages and saints have commented upon it, and yet it remains so elusive, and yet it's there, deep within us. So these contradictory characteristics pervade our lives. Love brings order, and when it fails, it brings chaos. And when it again comes in, it makes chaotic things ordered. People, they work for love and yet also abandon work. It's maddening, it's sublime, it's gross, it's so pure, and yet it is so impure. It is elevating and yet debasing at times. This whole universe has kind of been caught in this grip of what we call love. Love makes for purity and beauty and ugliness. It is cosmic, and yet it can be found in the smallest of things. Somehow, it's always connected with life and mind. People say, I love, yeah, then you got to give your life and your mind as well. You just simply cannot say, I love. So love is always connected with life, the prana that's there, and your mind. Without that, there cannot be love. Yeah. And it is there at every level of one's psychology and at every level of social organization. It rules, and yet it rules with a subtle touch. Take love out of human lives, there's nothing. Self-love is an aberration. Yeah, people who don't love, yeah, they've gone out of their minds. They are not in this world. So self-love is bad. And we know love is simulated also. And yet it is there, genuine, pure. This kind of contradiction is always there. People lie and steal and kill for love. It is so elevating. It is enlightenment, actually. It is the highest sacrifice. It is freedom. So this love that we have, it's not only humans. When I said it's connected with life and mind, everything that has life has to have love, must have love. And that means all living beings and species. There's that love that makes you go forward to undergo endless troubles. And the recompense is peace. Yes, there is no such thing. That's a greater gift to us than this which is embedded within us. It's a part, it is you, simple as that. When you love, you express yourself. You express your life. You express what's in your mind at the deepest level. So this is love. Okay. Now when does love become bhakti? Before we can go into that, yoga psychology also speaks about when we love somebody or something, we are actually projecting our ideal of love on the person. And we actually love that ideal, our own ideal. The people and things are just occasions for us to love. So we are projecting our own ideas and ideals of love. And we have, depends on what you are, we have the highest ideals there, and that we love. So this internally and externally is what is so pervasive in our lives. Imagine a world, or imagine life without love. There's a saying that everything that will remain is the forest of brutes. But no, brutes also love. Somewhere deep down, Swami Vivekananda says, even when a tiger sinks its fangs in an animal, it's so cruel, and yet it is doing it out of love for a cubs. So this contradiction is there. Everything you do, you look at it from one side, it's gruesome, and the other side is the highest sacrifice. This love is, as the aphorisist on the yoga, the Bhakti Sutra says, it is intense love for God. When a person gets it, he loves all, hates none, and becomes satisfied forever. So you have two things. When you love your ideal, your God, you become, as it were, you can say, loving to the entire world. Yeah, it becomes difficult, because people might take advantage of your love. But love is not out of weakness. It appears, and of course there is an element of truth in it. It's only the strong person who can really love. Weaklings, that's not love. So it energizes one. It makes you brave. It makes you bold. It makes you do things which you thought were just impossible. This is what is love. So love for the world and love for God are not two things. The sages are very clear. It has to be one love. You cannot divide love into it. So when this love is directed towards God, it becomes bhakti, love for God. And when it's diverted to material objects, it becomes material love. So it's the same thing. Either you turn it this way, internalize it, go deeper and deeper, and you have it, the divine love, or you project it outside and get caught in the snares. The delusive power of love comes when you have love associated merely with the body. Then it becomes affection and lust and greed and hatred. You also have that same love, when turned inwards, drops its delusive nature. Even the mind, which vacillates, the mind is always restless. Today I love somebody, and tomorrow I might not love somebody. Somebody says something and everything goes. So here we have this idea that it is one. Turn it. So where is that love then? Where does the love reside? It's in the soul, your very soul. People are searching for the mystery of consciousness everywhere. You find it in love. That is a subjective, a conscious experience. There is nothing more close to you than your own consciousness, your own love. And that's the reason why there is a great difficulty in trying to understand what is consciousness and what is love or whatever. Because it is subjective, it is deep within you. One of the reality is expressed by Vedanta as asti bhati priya, that it exists, it shines, and it is love. Yes, even Vedantins, people say that Vedantins are very dry guys. No love in them. No. If there is consciousness, there has to be love, and it has to be in your very soul. A soul in the sense of your individual consciousness within us. And we know that same consciousness pervades everywhere and everything. So this being said, Swami Vivekananda explains things as it's a real, genuine search after this aspect within you. A search beginning, continuing, and ending in love. I've never seen such a beautiful explanation. Even I think Christ says, you must love your Lord with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. This is what it means. The love, the search beginning, continuing, and ending in love. So there are many yogas that have preliminary disciplines, and then you go up to the higher levels of disciplines. And these some of the disciplines, especially Vedanta, it's extremely difficult. Extremely. And there are various yogas, Karma Yoga is there, and Raj Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, and Mantra Yoga, and Laya Yoga, all these things. But at the heart of everything is this bhakti, this love. Take it away and everything falls. There is no yoga at all. In fact, bhakti, divine love, is the basis of all yogas. If you don't have that love, you are not going to discipline your body and mind. Why do you do this? Yeah, something is drawing me, pulling me. So it is not just bhakti yoga, but it is yoga. Yoga is, the common explanation is union. It's a union of your individual consciousness with the Supreme Consciousness. This is what is called yoga. We have various forms of yoga as you see around here. But at the heart of the explanation of yoga is joining the individual consciousness with universal consciousness. It is union. It comes from the word yoke. The yoke comes from the word yuj, yoke. To yoke. That is what is yoga. Okay. Girish Ghosh, who was a very ardent disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, he says, God can hide everything except His unbounded love. So people are saying, where is God? What is God? And we have been deliberating these things for thousands and thousands of years. God cannot be seen. God is this, God is that, God is minute, God is all pervasive. And books on philosophies have been written about the nature of God. This is it. And people say, I have not seen God. Yeah. Do you feel love? Yeah. That is that God there within. If you haven't felt that, you have not felt God. So it is the most palpable feeling that one has. That is God. That's divinity. So don't go with the idea that, oh, God is unknown and God is far away. I don't know where. Maybe God is in hell, maybe God is in heaven. God. Just dismiss all those things as unworthy of what really God is. If you feel love, if you know love, you feel and know God. It's as simple as this. Where do you see God? In books and temples. Swami Vivekananda says, vain thy search. This is what is called God. Okay. That being said, now how does these things develop? You have a long kind of how does this divine love awaken? You've seen to the vanities of the world. Your delusions about love have been destroyed. You have suffered because of love and for love, etc., etc. You get inklings of it in dreams. You see your own timeline, your own sequence of events, and things have been happening to you which have no rational explanation. These are some of the beginnings, the first stirrings of divine love. It comes silently, unobtrusively, and slowly takes over. There are times, of course, it comes with the power of thunder, because boom, everything is just over. I mean, the small loves are all over. You go to the big loves. So the mistake about bhakti is just emotionalism or sentimentalism. No, it's not. Love is very, very deep. Okay. So this imperceptible feeling of love keeps on growing and growing. Once this divine love is awakened, let me assure you, it's not going to get snuffed out. It's going to grow and grow and grow. Okay. So Sri Ramakrishna says, I'll use Sri Ramakrishna Order, Nishtha into Bhakti, Bhakti into Bhav, Bhav into Mahabhav. This is the sequence. Steadfastness. The steadfastness aspect has something called, these disciplines like constant remembrance of God. It depends also on what you call is that the very initiation into it. But then, let's put it like that. We do so many things for love, and when this divine love awakens, we keep on doing those things also for divine love. Conscious remembrance and prayers. Hazara once asked Sri Ramakrishna, does God listen to our prayers? And Sri Ramakrishna says, yes, I assure you 100 times over. But the prayer must be sincere and earnest. There it is. Prayer is a very powerful, you can say, instrument to the development of bhakti. Pray for others. That's the best way to develop bhakti. And, generally prayers for your own self, they take their time in being answered. I tell you. Yeah. When you pray for others, it becomes, their prayers are answered more fast. So, as we have this steadfastness, nishtha, stha, the old word comes from stha, to stay, to station. stationary. These are old Indo-European words like Hindustan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all stuff. So what is that? There is a kind of a stability that comes in, and that stability keeps on growing and growing and growing. That develops into bhakti. It starts with a trickle and it gets into a bigger kind of stream. Bhakti, love of God. The intensity keeps on growing and growing, and then something, bhakti then becomes mature. It becomes something like bhava. Bhava is to be. It becomes you and you become it. It takes away everything that is, you can say, negative in you, everything that's dark, everything that leads you astray and puts you on the right path. So this becoming is essential for bhakti. And at this stage, then, oh, there's plenty of things happen to you. Yeah. Your subtle body itself undergoes a great transformation. Sri Ramakrishna calls it the Bhagavati Tanu, the divine body. Bhagavati is the divine mother. So your entire inner self becomes transformed. And it is here that divine element within you and the divine universal element, they interact. And it's a tremendous feeling, because here you will have visions of God. You can have it only when this inner self has become transformed. You cannot see God with these eyes, Mother says. You can see it with this kind of transformed body. It becomes divine. Now you know you are no longer a human being. People look at you, you are a human being, but you have become transformed into a divine being. And that's the mistake. Humans? What humans? We are actually by nature divine. So this is that what happens to you. You be that. And then there is something called the Mahabhava, the great bhava. And then the last is the prema. But these stages can be experienced only by great incarnations of God. Saying, Sri Ramakrishna says, prema, that love, divine love, is like the rope that you can tie God with. God can become your slave now. First you were a slave, now God can, you can tie God with that. And you know, when we were young, we used to read the lives of all these saints, and we were curious how God is coming and helping these saints in their household work. I used to figure out, what's this? It's crazy. And the saint is saying, the courtyard hasn't been swept. Can you do that for me? Oh, sure. And God has now been tied. The personal God has been tied with this rope of love, prema. There is nothing, no going away now for God. Yeah, poor fellow. Okay, it develops first as reverence. You revere things that you love, of course. But everything associated with the divine now becomes more important to you. You revere it. Your attitude is reverential towards people, towards nature. You don't go and break things and exploit things. You're extremely, extremely careful not to leave your carbon footprints all over the place. So because you're understanding that this love that is within me, that's growing, it's awakening, is extremely precious. So you become reverential not only when you go to a temple or a church or a synagogue or a mosque. No, your attitude is reverential all through. This is the first indication that divine love is growing. Yeah, because people come to a shrine and then, Sri Ramakrishna noticed people come to bathe in the Ganges, and Ganges is a sacred river, and they will bathe there and talk all nonsense about hundreds of things. So the utility of having bath in the Ganges itself is kind of lost. That reverential attitude hasn't come in. Second is what is called preeti, that is the sweetness of love that has grown. You can just sit down quietly and just be satisfied that the kind of a well that's opened up and you're drawing that water of love from within you. You won't need anything externally to prop you up. People, we need this thing and that thing and this thing to prop our own existence up. If these things are not there, I'm submerged. Oh, the world, nobody loves me, and I'm lonely, I'm lost. And these things will all disappear when there's something called preeti. And it's not just that love. You feel that kind of a bliss within. It's tremendously blissful. Love is like, it's blissful. Yeah. Can you live on love? Yes, you can live on love, just on love. And what about the food, etc.? Don't worry about it. That love will bring it. They say the world loves a lover. It's true actually. If you love God, everything will come to you. You draw the universe to you. In the Yoga Sutras, Yoga aphorisms, it's said that when you are established in non-injury, everything around you loses their hate and spite and anger. So everything comes to you. So this is preeti. So first is reverence, then is that blissful feeling of love within you. The third is, but when you live in the body and you live in the world, there are always occasions when you feel, I want to love more. And then the more you're obstructed, and it does happen, the more the intensity of your love grows. It's like that kind of annoyance, when two people are in love, the third person is kind of not welcome in that. It's a kind of a natural annoyance for any kind of disturbance. The same thing happens. It's called viraha, that now as bhakti is developing, there's a kind of a pain also. That pain because you want to reach out for a higher level and a higher level for that. And you feel you're being held back. So you want to break free. This is that viraha. Okay. The next is, your life itself becomes for that love. Your life is held as a sacrifice for that love. It's called tad artha prana samsthanam. My life is only for this love. And we have seen that love and life and mind is, so it's only for the beloved, for God. And everything that you do, eating, drinking, sleeping, waking, walking, talking, everything, you do it through this angle of love. Your entire life and your entire actions now become magnified, glorified. Even the smallest thing that you do, you're doing it through this love. You're breathing, you're doing it for love. Love, of course, love of God. Yeah, the people say, I'll die without you. Yeah. And that person goes away and this person is still alive. So everything that is done in your life now it has become completely transformed. There, like I said, there's an inner transformation of your subtle body, and this has become. Now you understand what's the mystery of life and the universe and mind. Before that, you will never, never, never understand what's the secret and mystery of life. This is where things become clear, open. Then the next stage is called tadiyata, thatness. It's not only your life has transformed, everything in this universe has become as belonging to the Lord. A blade of grass, a grasshopper, butterfly, a bird, everything that you see and perceive and experience belongs to Him. That your life and everything, including everything around you. So this is the stage set for merging. It's like the river that's merging into the ocean. Rivers come from the ocean, they go back. It comes because also love that is within all of us, when it awakens, wants to seek its fulfillment, its perfection. And once it starts, it will seek its own fulfillment, its own perfection. That is the secret of divine love. And you, well, you're just pulled by that great force that's leading you. Everybody wants fulfillment. Everybody wants that ultimate experience of perfection. Your life, which you love, will seek that perfection. This is called Bhakti, when your individual consciousness is slowly kind of merging in that. Because as long as your consciousness, your love or your mind or your life is constrained by external factors, it is trying to kind of pull itself away, trying to expand. You always notice that love always tries to expand itself. You love one person, 2 persons, 3 persons, then you love the whole world. You go up there. This is that universal love that you experience. And you can experience in the body. But the body, like I said, this kind of ordinary bodies will not be able to take that impact. We love 1 person, 2 persons, 10 persons, okay, all right. The body can sustain its impact. But when you have to love everything around you, that's that inner transformation, that Bhagavati Tanu, the divine body that takes in that impact. And you can sustain that love. So this love, when it awakens, it wants to seek its perfection. Right now we are seeking perfections in the external world. But there will come a time when the external world will rebuff you. Get away. And then it goes to its source. So the yogas speak about renunciation. This is natural renunciation. It's natural because there is no tearing away from things. It's a smooth flow. You slowly go. And when there is that, you can say, the seeking of perfection within and not outside, then it becomes natural and easy, and you go down with the flow, slowly. So what are the disciplines? Oh my God. Yeah, at times, but I won't go into the disciplines. You know why? The biggest factor that you ever need to attain perfection is already within you, within your grasp. You know it. Just increase it. That is all. And if you can do that, you have made your life blessed, and you are a blessing to the whole world. Like Swami Vivekananda says, these people don't stir, they just melt down in love. So this is divine love. But for people who are a little technical, there is something called the preparatory and the mature, the advanced. 2 stages of devotion. The first stage of devotion is, you do japa and meditation and fasting and all the purification, the rituals, etc., etc. But that is building up kind of steam. And then all the barriers are broken and out rushes that soul of yours. Then you don't need all this preparatory disciplines. You simply pull on. So to recap just a bit, love which is within you, which is connected with your consciousness, with your life, with your mind, is your natural state, and it needs to seek its own fulfillment, its perfection, and it is seeking out by expanding itself. This love, when it grows, and it does grow, that will be the blessed day when you have tasted this love. And it is bliss, it is peace, it is everything. You know the secrets of the universe. You can conquer the world with your love. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Okay, yeah. My sister here, she asked me, we love, and the world is relative, and we love the objects. How, and when we internalize that, how do we discriminate, discern what is real love and what is not real love? Oh, all those things that will obstruct you. Well, for one thing, we actually love each other because of our souls. Okay. So whenever this love can take us, makes us elevated, that is real in you. And whatever debases you, whatever makes you feel small, that should be discarded. Now, when you say, okay, now this love is consciousness. So when you are internalizing all the loves that you have had, internalizing it, in the good way, that love itself will kind of cleanse it, That's the power of love. I didn't mention it, but because that internalization itself is a kind of purification of this love. You will feel there's something that's overtaking you and purifying this love. So all the loves that we have in our life, they don't now become obstructions. Like you have a great kind of tenderness that grows in. Even that if you were hurt and you were betrayed, you look at those things as a kind of an illusion. That great love, that relative love awakens that real love within you. And so when you know this, that love itself will start purifying itself. And this is one of the, you can say, aspects of love. It's like a mother, she will look at the pranks of a child and she will even berate and even spank the child. But she knows that is just a kind of a superfluous thing. The real thing is love. So you will not see faults in all those loves that you've had, all those loves that you have. You will see its purity, you will see its divinity. Okay. So, Sri Ramakrishna once asked Swami Satyamayananda, whom do you love most? So he's saying, he thought about it, I don't love anybody. Dry fellow. So Sri Ramakrishna also was very clear. He said, you need to love. And so what if you make mistakes in love? If you love, you are not making any mistakes. That is what. So all these relative loves, you will see that their defects have all been kind of sidestepped, and you progress towards this pure love. You know what? You also can detect deception. Love is very deceptive. You can detect deception. That is also. So you will be able to detect, okay, this was that. Okay, you can see through it, and then that itself will keep you away from those things. Or those things are kept away from your real, you can say, nature. It becomes very easy. That's one thing that human beings are very good at. They can just detect lies. Of course, if they're narcissist or a psychopath, that's a different thing. We're talking about normal people. You can detect even a slight lie, a slight catch in the voice, a slight, you can say, you know it all. It's that love actually can detect its trueness, and it can detect falsity also. And the falsity goes away, the truth remains.